Hi there, My name is Dell. Loder. It is my honor and privilege to be your host today as we take a fond look back at that wonderful television station.
King. King. King.
King.
King.
King. K-I-N-G, Channel 5.
Of course, even though I've been a part of King TV for most of its years, this is really a story about an entire broadcasting company. Television, radio, cable, mobile production, and the vision of the woman who started it all, Mrs. Bullitt. For some reason, she decided to buy a struggling radio station in 1947. And then, not much later, the fledgling King Broadcasting Company diversified even further, acquiring the FM and television stations of KRSC. It was the first sale of a television station in the country.
In the early days, the sales and business offices were located here in this familiar Seattle landmark, the Smith Tower. I came here in 1950 as the evening switchboard operator, my first job. And I can still remember my first day on the job. Good evening, King Broadcasting Company. May I help you?
Yes, I want to know what Jean Anderson has done with her hair. I really like the way she had it before, and I don't like this new style one bit.
Ma'am, she isn't even in school yet.
What?
She doesn't work here, but I'll pass your comment along.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you very much. Goodbye. Yeah, those were the good old days in the Smith Tower here at 2nd and Yesler. Hello? Look, it's her hair. She can wear it any way she wants to. Thanks for calling.
Soon after the company began to grow, Mrs. Bullitt imposed on a cartoonist friend named Disney to create a character, and King Mike was born. It was radio, after all, where King first began to demonstrate its creativity and community involvement. Because through the years, radio has always been personal, public-minded, and fun-loving. And when television came along, even greater pioneering took place. In fact, few of King TV's first production people had much broadcast experience at all. Certainly not in a brand new medium like television. But they were young, eager, and inventive, and willing to try almost anything. The technology may seem primitive today, but even at the start, the standards were always high, and the accomplishments became legendary.
For the first 5 or 6 years, the studio operation of King TV occupied this building at 2nd West and Thomas. Here at 302 2nd West, they produced such programs as Sheriff Tex, B. Donovan, and the very first news programs of the Pacific Northwest. Let's go inside and take a sentimental look at those old studios. Well, it was kind of a dump anyway.
But the modest facilities didn't keep King from creating memorable television with a 3-man news staff and a daily live cooking show. No matter what it was, it dominated the ratings, especially before the market got cluttered with all those other television stations. King reflected the events, the times, all the passions and excitements of a growing community. And King changed and grew right along with it. Here's a moment from the live telecast of our 10th anniversary celebration.
You just saw a man's hand, but let me tell you, that's a mighty important hand. because that hand belongs to the man behind the camera, just one of the many pairs of hands without whose work our hands in front of the camera would indeed be tied. None of these things that we have reviewed today on our 10th anniversary party could have been done without those additional hands.
And he never even got around to mentioning the feet. Community service was a big priority at King from day one. And through the years, some of our proudest examples have been in children's programming. A long parade of faces and characters that sometimes became as famous and familiar as any Seattle landmark. With so many popular personalities and shows, it's little wonder that even most old-timers can hardly remember the groundbreaking children's show of the mid-50s, Captain Moonhead.
Did you enjoy your years as Captain Moonhead?
No, I didn't like it at all. The intellectual level was very low, but it did teach me to do editorials, you know.
It eventually became obvious that it wasn't too convenient having the studios and the business offices on opposite sides of town. And so a converted furniture store became King's glittering new headquarters.
This is our home in the Denny Regrade on Aurora. We like it here. It's a nice neighborhood. It's a quiet neighborhood. It's a friendly neighborhood. Hi.
The King Broadcasting story is really a legacy of uncommon commitment to news coverage, regular local programming, and special shows and documentaries with a point of view and usually something important to say. Produced for local audiences, by local people, and broadcast as far as we could reach.
The television transmitter site has always been here at the top of Queen Anne Hill, across from old Queen Anne High School. The current tower was erected in the 1960s, and every winter it's been my job to climb to the top of that thing and hang those dang Christmas lights. And I don't get paid extra for it either.